Hello everyone, welcome to Grade 10 History Online Learning with your host, Mr. Schmidt. This is me in the corner. I think I'm somewhere around here on the screencast. It's always nice to put a name and a face together, even if it's a unshaven late night picture of myself. I am sitting outside on my porch doing the screencast because my son, who's right here, is asleep inside and I don't want to wake him. Anyways, this is a pretty important screencast, so take the time to go through it with me just so you understand some of the basic mechanisms of D2L, and mostly what I'm going to go through is a way for you to make sure you've done all your assignments and you've done them well. Okay, so when you log on and you go to your course, you should be able to get to, well, I'm sure you can figure that out, but you should be able to get to my history course. So I'm going to pretend that I'm a student here for a second. So this is supposedly what you see right now. Of all this information that I posted so far, I said a couple things about myself, gave you a summary of the important dates. Remember, you're supposed to declare right now when you want to finish this course by. A lot of you have done that, some of you haven't, so please do that. And just use the email feature up here. You don't have to email me at my TCDSB account. That's kind of silly and takes us out of the system for no real reason. Here are the relative dates. If you're finishing on the 30th, you're going to want to be done by the July 28th. And if you're doing the August 15th finish, you're going to want to be done by August 11th. So let's just get to this. So here you have your news feed. I'm going to post this video eventually in this news feed. Calendar dates should be pretty clear. These are general suggestions. If you fall behind too far, I will still accept your assignments, but it's of no help to you for that to happen, really. I think that's all you need to know. What's up? It's noisy out here tonight. Okay, I'm going to continue. So, let's take a look at your basic content. Content looks confusing. Right now you can only see Unit 1 and Unit 2. Eventually you'll see Unit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Should be by tomorrow morning. We just want to make sure they're all perfect because there have been a lot of adjustments. And most of them follow this kind of unit overview followed by activities. Activity 1, you've got the turn of the century. You always have the expectations, which most people don't read. Content, and then usually it either says do the assignment or do not do this assignment. Okay, so you don't have to do the first assignment, but you are expected to read this content. And so when you go to it, you should look at it, know that it's part of the course, know that that you could be asked for it at the end in some sort of culminating activity, but in this particular case you are not doing the assignment. Okay, we go to activity 2, causes of World War I. Again, expectations, content. We could click on those, and then causes of World War I assignment, and that's your first assignment. Now, all that's well and good. You can kind of go through there. But what I would suggest you do instead is if you go up here and you go to discussions and Dropbox, those are the two major places that you're going to post. Okay, so if you check out the Dropbox first of all, Dropbox feature, you'll see Unit 1 World War I has 3 Dropboxes. Okay, and it also gives you the relative marking scheme. Okay, you'll notice that there's going to be usually a culminating task that is worth more than everything else, 10 marks. Then there'll be a couple or one assignment that is not worth as much, but that doesn't mean you don't do it well. It just means you don't probably spend as much time on it. And then you have a couple, usually at least one 6 marker, okay? And again, these marks are to approximate somewhere between 24 and 30 marks per unit, okay, overall. So on your rubric, it might actually be out of 15, it might be out of 25, it might be out of 100. Probably not, but it might be out of 100. But ultimately, this is the, amount of points you're getting, and this will add up to somewhere around 100. It might be as high as 130 or 140, but it'll be somewhere around there. So, I think that's important for you to think about as you progress through the course. If we go to this first assignment, Causes of World War I, okay, it does give you a due date. So this one's due tomorrow, July 3rd at 11 o'clock p.m. Usually you'll have till the p.m. to finish that. Usually I don't give due dates earlier than that. The most important thing you can do to get a good mark in this is actually think about your rubrics as your learning goals and your success criteria. Okay, so if you want a level 4, then it should be stated, all the things that you're doing should be here. So summary notes are accurately identify all causes of World War I. Opinion paragraph takes a convincing stance and argues the importance of one main cause with a logical argument. Paragraph form includes a topic sentence supporting details and a concluding sentence. Sources are cited appropriately. And then you can look at all the other levels as well. Usually we aim for level 4s. In the odd case, you may not have time to do that, but obviously you're trying to put together something of substance. Okay, so make sure you're actually looking at that before you submit it, and it's important that you know what you're actually doing. So that's the Dropbox. Let's go back to the content for a second and let's see what was actually asked of this. So it says Cause of World War I, expectations, content, Cause of World War I, assignment. And it says in here, complete and submit 1A2, Cause of World War I, Dropbox. We'll complete the following assignment, submit your work to the Dropbox. That should bring me to the exact Dropbox that I'm going to drop my assignment in. And it says here you have to do 2 things. 1. Make point form notes on the key events that lead to and cause World War I under the following headings: nationalism, imperialism, arms race, alliances, shots heard around the world, assassination. Do not just define these terms. Holy, that's loud. Do not just define these terms, but explain them. Okay, so that's kind of like your make work project of sorts, right? This kind of stuff. That's not the core of your assignment. You have to kind of read between the lines, but mostly anytime it says make point form notes, you're not really getting assessed on the form. You're getting assessed on whether you did the busy work and whether you have a sense of this. If it's neat, that's great. If it's not, it's not the best. But what you should be focused on is the second part. In consultation with the resource below and at least one other internet resource. Okay, that's one of the things that was asked of you. Write an opinion paragraph, explain which of the above causes should be considered the leading contributor to World War I. Make sure to use Chicago Manual formatting. So Chicago style formatting is something we haven't talked about yet, but which you can easily access on the internet. And of course, one of the things about e-learning that is so great and also so terrible, depending on your perspective, is that the world is at your fingertips, and therefore part of our assessment of you is whether or not you can go out into that world and sort through some information. So, if I wanted to find out what Chicago Manual formatting was, let's just go to a new tab here. Can you even see that? Yeah, you can see that. So if I went in here and I went to Google for fun, and I've got a new search. Okay, so let's say I put in Chicago Manual of Style. Well, that seems like it might work. And I look there. Oh wow, the Chicago Manual of Style Online is there, and it tells me exactly how to cite all my sources. Or I could go to Purdue OWL, which is a great site from Purdue Education, which gives me the Chicago Manual of Style. Or I could even go to Wikipedia and find that. So let's just take this one for fun. I like their format sometimes. See if it gets there. Okay. Gives you a bunch of stuff, general format, books, periodicals, web sources. Mostly you guys are going to be researching online, I am assuming. If you love libraries, good for you. I'm very happy that you found a place to call your own, and I commend you. But for most of you, you're probably going to be doing this. Okay, so web sources. Okay, and it tells you how to do everything from general footnotes or endnotes to web pages with known date but without a known author. It gives you all the specifications here, podcast, multimedia, it's all there, okay? It's always all there. So there's no real excuse in not doing that, okay? So that's what's told. So between this assignment and the Dropbox, a little slow, you should, and when you go to the Dropbox, you should get a rubric. And again, treat this like your success criteria, checklist. Did my summary notes accurately identify all cause of World War I? Check. Bam. Opinion paragraph takes a convincing stance and argues the importance of one main cause with a logical argument. I think I did that. Good. Okay. Use it wisely and use it accurately. Okay. The other type of assignment you'll have is in the discussion area. So again, so many of you have already posted a brief introduction of yourself. That's great. Unit 1 discussions. There is only one right now that is in play. There should be two actually. And there should also be a rubric attached to this one. And there isn't, which is my fault. So I'm going to have to fix that. But again, same idea. You go here. If you go to the content, there should be a link to this conscription role play. You should be able to see a rubric. The expectation should be very clear. So what I don't want to see is you hand in something, and a couple people have already done it, and I could show their work, although that's kind of rude in front of everyone since we don't all know each other, so I won't. And they just kind of did the first part of the assignment. There's 40 people in this class, and it's going to be very tedious for me to keep sending your, especially once we get going, to keep sending your assignments back to you if they're not well done. The reason we have rubrics for all this is so that you have a good sense of what the expectation is. I can only say that, I can't say that enough. So please do your best by consulting with the content assignment first of all, and then the Dropboxes and discussions. Instead of loading up with 15 assignments or 10 activities or 12 activities per, we've kind of pared it down to 4 or 5 major assignments that you're expected to do. So they need to be quality. You can't just rip through them as fast as you might like, because most of them aren't just worksheets and knowledge-based stuff. So that's good and bad depending on how you like working. And other than that, I think this has gone on long enough. We're at 14 minutes. I keep forgetting that there's still a camera on me. And I probably have looked pretty weird at different points depending on the light. However, now you know a little bit about me. You know what my voice sounds like. I'll probably use audio a little bit to give you feedback, and I'll definitely use those rubrics. And if there are technical problems, like things don't match up, that's fine. But remember, first and foremost, take care of your Dropboxes, take care of your discussions, clarify if you have a question, but don't think that you have to do every assignment. And if there's some confusion, just think Dropbox discussion. Alright? Thanks everybody. Looking forward to a great month.